Falls under fair use as it's a parody. If you don't have a sense of humor, go fuck yourself. Welcome. Is this my reality? Is this your reality?
Retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses," or treat.
Is O.J. Simpson innocent after all? This one's going to be a juicy one. Forget it. Juicy, juice, O.J. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's get to it. The O.J. Simpson theory. Was it O.J. Simpson's son that really killed Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman? Even though it's been decades since O.J. Simpson went on trial for the murder of his ex-wife Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman, wink wink, the details and outcome of the case continue to divide opinions and send people into a frenzy. The O.J. conspiracy theory that O.J.'s son Jason killed Nicole Brown Simpson. It's not new. The crime book O.J. is Innocent and I Can Prove It by Dallas private investigator William Deere was written back in 2012. It pointed out evidence that could incriminate Jason Simpson. It was also a key theory in the 2000 BBC documentary O.J. Simpson, The Untold Story. We thought it would end there, but thanks to some well-researched internet detectives, the theory is gaining traction once again.
Bill Deere claims O.J. Simpson knows the identity of the real killer, but he's protecting him.
Who is Jason Simpson? Jason Simpson was born in the 1970s, O.J.'s first son and second child from his first marriage to Marguerite at Whitley. Jason was just 7 years old when his father started dating Nicole Brown, while still married to Jason's mother. Bad O.J. Bad O.J. His parents, they divorced in 1979, and O.J. went on to marry and father two more children with Nicole. Jason had a difficult childhood. His youngest sister from O.J.'s first marriage, 1-year-old Erin, tragically drowned in the family pool months after his parents divorced. Deere's book suggests that Jason began abusing alcohol, ecstasy, and cocaine as early as the age of 14 and puts forward medical records that show 3 recorded S attempts. By the time the murder of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman took place, Jason Simpson was grappling with mental health issues and a criminal record. If you enjoyed this content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. If you don't, I might tell O.J. you took his Heisman. Jason Simpson had a criminal past. Police reports indicate that Jason was arrested at least 4 times prior to the murders. These arrests included a DUI and driving with a suspended license. Not a big deal, but here's where it gets a little crazy. Most notably, he was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. Now listen to this closely. Jason had violently attacked one of his girlfriends with a knife, almost killing her, and had assaulted another in the years leading up to his stepmother's death by stabbing. At the time of the murder, he was on probation for attacking his boss with the kitchen knife. Now, while it was alleged that O.J. was also a perpetrator of domestic violence, yep, O.J. would smack a woman, yes he would. He wasn't known to use weapons in his attacks. A diagnosed rage disorder. Jason had been diagnosed with an intermittent rage disorder, which is commonly referred to as the Jekyll and Hyde syndrome. This would make him prone to angry and violent outbursts. Simpson was known to black out, and he had been committed to a hospital on several occasions after hearing voices in his head. While he was prescribed Depakote to cope with his anger, and he was having seizures. Deere's book says that he had stopped taking his medication in the months leading up to the murders. His diaries revealed some really sick, violent thoughts. Deere obtained diaries belonging to Jason that talked about wanting to hurt anyone who had wronged his loved ones. There was a note titled, "Dear Jason." It demonstrates manic thoughts and describes the writer as being 3 people. 3 friggin' people. Handwriting expert concluded that Jason had written the note all by himself.
In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, "Hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat."
And we have physical evidence that links Jason to the murder scene. A black knit navy watch cap found at the scene did not match any fibers found on O.J. The hat also was coated in dog hairs. O.J. didn't even own a dog, but Jason did. Photographs found in Jason's storage locker show that Jason wore watch caps frequently. One image dated 3/24/93 sees Jason sitting with his dog while wearing an identical cap to that found at the murder site. You can't make this shit up, people. The LAPD also found 15 unknown fingerprints in Nicole's Brentwood home where the murder took place, none of which match O.J.'s prints, but the police also failed to compare them to Jason's prints. Ron Goldman was a third-degree black belt. He was found with bruised hands, suggesting that he had fought back against his attacker. O.J. was stripped by the LAPD a day after the murders and showed no signs of bruising. Jason's DNA? They never requested it, nor was he interviewed by the LAPD.
This was found in our suspect's storage facility. It's designed for one purpose, to cut and to kill. The markings that Nicole sustained on her scalp came from the butt of this knife.
And then there's the murder weapon. Deere purchased the contents of a storage locker that was owned by Jason at the time of the murders, which contained a knife that matched the description of the murder weapon. Now, the Swiss and stiletto knives that O.J. owned were ruled out as murder weapons, but a forensic scientist hired by Deere to examine Jason's knife concluded that the butt of the knife, get this, Jesus, matches the injury Nicole suffered at the top of her head. Jason had previously attended Army and Navy Academy, and a former classmate told Deere that he had been trained in hand-to-hand combat as well as field knife training. O.J., on the other hand, was known to hate the sight of blood. Alibi? Who needs an alibi? The LAPD determined that the murders took place between 9:45 p.m. and 10:05 p.m. After 9:50 p.m., Jason was alone and has no alibi that can be supported by someone else. At the restaurant where he worked, Jason's time card for the night of June 12th was handwritten, even though the electric time clock was working fine, meaning his alibi could be false. You think? Jason was also known to have a love-hate relationship with the mother of his youngest siblings, Nicole. Some people say he might have been a little infatuated with her, and that night he probably or possibly was infuriated that she was supposed to bring a large party of her friends to his restaurant and cancel the reservations to go to, yes, where Ron Goldman worked. I think that set him off. Another strange thing, O.J. hired a defense team for Jason before he got one for himself. In the days after the murders and 4 days before his own arrest and the famous Bronco chase, O.J. hired top criminal attorney Carl Jones to represent his oldest son. However, Jason has never been interviewed by police, nor was he being investigated for the murders. Is the LA police, are they that inept? I mean, look at the evidence.
Really believe that O.J. Simpson is innocent of the killings of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson?
This is still an open case. People can point the finger at O.J. Simpson all they want.
Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California.
I'm no Columbo, but this is what I see. Look, Jason had a traumatic childhood, all right? His parents divorced when he was young. He had a 1-year-old sister drown. His father was O.J., married a white woman. Police reports indicate that he was arrested at least 4 times. The most serious one was assault with a deadly weapon. He was then diagnosed with intermittent rage disorder. He had multiple personality disorders, identifying as at least 3 different people. Jason was known for nearly killing a girlfriend with a knife, almost seriously injuring another in his fits of rage, whereas OJ has been accused of domestic abuse, but he's never been arrested for assault, and he wasn't prone to use weapons. 6 months before the killings, Jason went to the emergency room because he heard voices of people who weren't there and said he felt as if he was going to rage because he ran out of his medication. He stopped taking his medication 2 months before the murders. The night of the murders, Jason expected Nicole Brown Simpson, her family, and a bunch of friends, I'm thinking about 12 to 13 people, to dine at the restaurant where he was working. But Brown Simpson chose another restaurant. Guess whose restaurant? And this set Jason off. The murders took place between 9:45 and 10:05. Jason was by himself after approximately 9:50 and had no alibi that can be supported by anyone else to where he was when the killings occurred. The Black Navy watch cap found at the crime scene contained animal hair and African American hair fibers that did match OJ, but they didn't test his son. The way I see it, it's simple, clear as day to me now. This kid, OJ's son Jason, had a strange relationship, we'll say, with Nicole. I think he was infatuated with her, but also he was very angry with her. She blew him off that night. He had a history of mental illness. He had a history of rage. And this kid was about 5'11", 220 to 240 at the time of the murders. Remember, Ron Goldman was a third-degree black belt. He had a lot of bruises on his hands. He threw some punishment before he got killed. OJ didn't have a mark on him, but we never got to see the son. And the son was also trained in hand-to-hand and knife combat. And the friggin' knife, the butt of the knife matched the wound on the top of Nicole's head, for Christ's sake. He brutally murdered these people in cold blood. He called his father, OJ. There's call records. It wasn't the other way around. He called OJ, told him what he did. OJ showed up and covered for him. That's why he got him a lawyer. That's why he took that stupid Bronco ride, to get his son out of Dodge. This case needs to be reopened. Why wasn't Jason even questioned? We need a new people versus Simpson, except a different Simpson this time. Did OJ make a deal covering up for his son? OJ got acquitted because the evidence didn't prove it was him. Because the evidence proves that it's his son, or at least points to him. What do you think? Should the case be reopened? What do you think of the evidence presented here? Crazy theory, or there's something to it? Leave a comment down below. Nice cap. Let's get the fuck out of here.